Still, we had come only to sell things to the harem women, so they would let us out. For certain, Auntie Chava had assured me. I could not see well at first, for my eyes had not yet adjusted to the sudden darkness. Walking carefully to hide my limp, I followed the shape of Auntie Chava's floor-length veil as she followed one of the eunuchs. Cool air washed over me, a relief from the heat of the sun. Soon I heard a plash of water and smelled a delicious intermingling of flowers and sandalwood and cloves. By the time I could well make out my surroundings, we had passed through another gate and into a courtyard. It was not an open court, though it seemed so. The domed roof looked almost as high as the sky. Honeyed light sifted in through carved wooden screens, gilding the walls and floors. Light danced in the spray of a fountain, shimmered like liquid silver on the surface of the pool. Birds flitted among fruit trees and blossoming bushes, which filled the air with their sweet smells. The floors were inlaid with jewel-bright tiles and spread with fine woolen carpets embroidered in crimson and gold. I looked for the rusty tinge of bloodstains on the fountain's tiles, but save for their colored borders, they were white as a turnip's flesh. The eunuch settled himself upon a cushion in a corner. I sneaked a furtive peek at him. He was dark-skinned, and except for his fine silk robes, looked much as other eunuchs I had seen, smooth-faced and heavy about the hips. Auntie Chava shed her veil, then opened her bundle, spread out the cloth, and began arranging her wares on it. They were her very own treasures from the time when she had been wealthy, jeweled rings and bracelets and neck chains, lengths of satin and damask and silk. Uncle Eli had not wanted her to sell them, but "We must pay the taxes," Auntie Chava said. I looked at her now to see if she seemed sorry to let her things go. She set them out briskly, but I saw her hands linger for a moment on a brooch of lapis lazuli before she laid it gently down. The room was silent, save for the splash and gurgle of the fountain. But soon, as if we had set off some unheard signal, there came the pattering of bare feet on tile. There was a whispering of voices, a jingling of bracelets, a rustling of cloth. I could picture her then, Shahrazad, slim and regal, moving gracefully across the court as if she held an invisible water jar balanced upon her head. She would not be overeager, not greedy. She would greet Auntie Chava and then turn to me, and something in my eyes would hold her. Would she sense that I, too, made an art of telling old tales? Would she know, somehow, that she was my inspiration? That I wanted to be just like her? "Marjan, get your mind out of the mist and put out your wares." Hastily I took off my veil, untied my bundle, and set out Auntie Chava's jewels and ribbons and silks. I heard her muttering under her breath, "What's going to become of you, Marjan?" And then, here they came, the harem women, gliding through the archways into the courtyard, their bright-hued gowns fluttering, their voices softly chattering, for all the world like a flight of beautiful birds. They gathered around us, enveloped us in a thick, sweet cloud of perfume, trying on bracelets and rings, remarking upon the color of a stone, the sheen of a length of silk. The jewels caught the light and cast it in dizzying flecks across the floor and walls. Though none of the women were as naked as Auntie Chava would have had me believe, many wore alluring garments that revealed bare arms and throats and the curved shapes of breasts and hips. I searched their faces for Shahrazad, for I felt, though I had never seen her, that I would know her. Many of these women would be relatives of the Sultan, distant aunts or nieces who had been widowed or divorced by their husbands and had nowhere else to go. Because they were not virgins, the formerly married relatives were in no danger of being wedded to the Sultan. Other harem women were slaves, though few were young and beautiful, as harem slaves usually are. Before he married Shahrazad, the Sultan had used up all the young and beautiful virgins as wives. Still, I noticed 5 or 6 young women, new no